Welcome to If You Know Someone with a Vagina.
Or as we like to call it, IYKSWAV. IYK.
SWAV. Hi, I'm Sandi.
And I'm Beth.
We are recently retired nurse practitioners, excited to bring you a podcast filled with informative insights, compassionate discussions, inclusive perspectives, and expect a healthy dose of humor. Whether you have a vagina or you know someone who does, this is the podcast for you.
The content of this podcast is provided for general informational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as, or should it be considered, a substitute for professional medical advice.
Did you all know that estrogen our bodies make is an anti-inflammatory?
What? Sandi and I didn't know.
I know, don't tell.
So most of us have heard about hot flashes or brain fog with menopause, but what's rarely talked about are the musculoskeletal symptoms.
And here's the symptoms. See if any of you can relate. We're talking about joint pain, muscle weakness, bone loss, and way more. And this happens in over 70% of menopausal women. And for a bunch of those women, it can be debilitating.
Right. Sandi and I are going to attest to that later in the show.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we can relate. So I wanted to introduce you guys to my new favorite orthopedic surgeon. And
she's not here today.
I wish. And she's been a menopause champion for many, many years. And that's Dr. Vonda Wright, who authored this book that I'm reading now and listening to. I love to kind of do both, called Unbreakable. And she coined a term that changes everything for me. And it's called Musculoskeletal Syndrome of Menopause, or MSM. So easy to remember. And it finally puts the spotlight and gives a name to how estrogen loss affects our muscles, bone, tendons, joints, and everything else.
Right? Because what we often describe as aches, weakness, or stiffness, it's not random. It's biological.
Right.
Estrogen keeps inflammation in check, it helps muscles repair, and it keeps bones strong. So when that estrogen drops with menopause, pain increases, muscles shrink, and bone density falls.
Yeah, we hope by the end of this episode, you'll have the knowledge that can transform how you care for yourself during this time, this whole menopausal transitional phase.
And beyond.
And beyond, for sure. That's the most important part for me right now in my 60s, is the beyond and the confidence to put it into action. And I wished I had this knowledge when I first went into a provider about all my stuff.
It's so enlightening.
So you guys are getting it.
Yeah, stay tuned. It's a good episode.
Softness or your wrinkles, they are beautiful to me, beautiful to me. I am beautiful.
Part 1, the patient perspective. And duh, we're patients too. So, Sandi, did you have any aches and pains with menopause?
Oh, my goodness.
Where do we start?
Yeah, I'll just start with frozen shoulder.
Oh, okay. That's a common one.
Yeah, I was 55, and guess what? I had it on both shoulders.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, at the same time. And I ended up getting shots twice and 3 times going through a series of physical therapy. Super painful, because you know why?
Why?
I went through that? Even though they said, oh, it's going to thaw out within like 2 years. It's like, well, I don't want to have T-Rex arms. And I don't want my husband to have to fasten and unfasten my bra every day. It was like, I will not live like this. And not one person put it together that it was because of menopause or lack of estrogen. And it was like a year after I stopped my menopausal hormone therapy.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Think
know,
of what
like,
it could saved you.
What? Yeah. So we're all learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my story.
Yeah, please. I know you mentioned something more. You had more joint issues. Tell me
Oh
about
my gosh, I had some. So I was just entering menopause. I guess that's a good way to put it, huh?
that. Yeah, that you knew of.
That I know of, and I remember just lying on the couch, and I went up to get something, and every joint just on fire and just hurt. And I remember thinking to myself, if I feel this way, I guess I was like 53 at the time. If I feel this way at 53, what am I going to feel like when I'm like 70?
Right.
This is intolerable. I could not. It was so uncomfortable. And thank goodness, Mary Claire Haver's book, The New Menopause, had just come out around that time.
Yes, and thank you for also introducing it to me because it was also helpful.
Oh my gosh, so helpful. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what, I was debating whether to go on hormones or not. And it was her book that was like, absolutely. Yeah. And also I had plantar fasciitis. There's another fun one. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. And nobody ever told me that was related to menopause, perimenopause
It's
either.
just like, well, here's your, I just picture these big orthopedic shoes you have to wear.
That. No, I didn't wear orthopedics. Mine actually, mine snapped. It ruptured. Isn't that lovely?
My goodness.
Yeah, that was a good, I'll spare everyone that story, but.
Wow. Except for the super interesting that would have been like the surgical cure for it was to break it all up, but yours ripped on its own.
Ripped on its own.
Wow.
Twang.
Twang.
That was a noise. That's a noise I've heard in my head.
Yeah,
Twang.
like the breaking of a guitar string. It just goes,
twang.
Oh, you poor thing.
But, Sandi and I have been doing a lot of research on this subject. You've been reading the book Unbreakable.
So many books and audiobooks, regular books, but the one that really helped me the most before her latest book, Unbreakable by Dr. Vonda Wright, was her original one called Fitness After 40, Your Strong Body at 40, 50, 60, and Beyond. And that's when I learned a lot about how to reverse some of this, because I was not in good shape when I had my frozen shoulder.
Going into it, yeah.
Too. Yeah. So there were ways I think that I could have helped prevent it from happening as well. And I learned so much. I want to pass that on to our listeners too, because when you start reading these books from these scientists, these women who are practicing doctors and are going through things too like us, it just changed everything for me.
Absolutely.
I've learned so much, and that's why we want to pass it on to you guys. But I still recommend you do the reading or the listening to the books because it's life-changing.
Life-changing. But it goes beyond, there's actual science behind all that pain and inflammation that we were experiencing. And so Sandi and I are going to try and break that down for you guys now, because we did a lot of studying about it and learning.
Yeah, but just, tiny bites of science as we go through it, because it's like, it does get boring. Yeah, we understand that. I mean, we're all, ooh, cytokines and all that kind of stuff. But we do just, baby bite of science so you can go, oh my gosh, that's starting to make sense.
Right? It's not in your head. This is actually happening inside your cells.
Right.
Yes.
It's not in your head. Oh, I hated hearing that.
Right?
For other things we'll get to later.
Yeah. All right, so let's break it down, Sandi.
Break it down like we do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first big changes is in the immune system, specifically in molecules called the cytokines, like I already said. So they're like the body's inflammation messengers. So when estrogen drops, these messengers become more active and the body isn't as good at turning them on.
Which explains why so many women like us notice a daily stiffness or new aches that weren't there before.
Yeah, it's a kind of constant low-level inflammation, though, not like from an injury or infection.
And this connects to energy, too, because estrogen affects the mitochondria in our cells. These are the tiny structures inside our cells that act like power plants.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have heard of mitochondria before, and but what we didn't know that they rely on estrogen, produce energy efficiently. And once estrogen estrogen levels fall, mitochondria just don't work quite as well. So the cells make less energy and they produce more oxidative stress. That word's been around for a long time, which basically irritates tissues. So this leads to the soreness, longer recovery times when you do try to exercise, and deeper muscle fatigue.
Yeah, so when women say they feel tired in their muscles, there's an actual real biological reason behind that.
Yeah, totally. So it's not in your head,
Yes,
as
thank
we
you.
said, and it's a change in how your cells function.
Wow. All right, so another part of this is called cellular senescence, which is a word Sandi had to teach me how to say.
Well, that's because I only knew how to say it because I listened to the audible version of Dr. Vonda Wright's book,
Right.
Senescence.
Senescence. So this is a buildup of older, worn-out cells.
Yeah, and these worn-out cells stop doing their jobs, but then they don't die off or get cleared out. So they accumulate and release more inflammatory chemicals, which slows tissue repair and increases overall inflammation.
Yay, more
sucks.
inflammation.
Yeah, yay. Boo. Yeah.
And this is going to affect connective tissues too. So estrogen helps the body make collagen, which is the protein that keeps tendons, ligaments, and joints flexible and cushioned.
Yeah, we love collagen, but it does slow down with the drop of estrogen. And connective tissues become then stiffer, joints feel kind of rougher or less supported. So this is one reason that conditions like frozen shoulder, like I talked about, tendinitis, and Beth's plantar fasciitis
Check.
become more common around the menopausal period.
Yeah, I feel so validated right now. I really do.
Totally.
Right?
Me too. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about muscles and bones because menopause affects them in ways most people never even hear about.
Yeah, definitely. So estrogen isn't just a reproductive hormone, as we know now. It's a muscle and bone hormone too. So when estrogen drops, muscles can't function the same way anymore. So one of the first things women notice is that they lose muscle faster. So without estrogen supporting protein synthesis and repair, muscle breaks down more quickly and builds back up more slowly, which explains why a workout that used to feel easy can suddenly knock you out for days.
Yeah, been there. Yeah. Recovery takes longer, soreness lasts longer, and then you feel more tired inside the muscle itself. And that deep fatigue isn't imagined. It's the result of the mitochondria making less energy without all that estrogen support.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you know what else shifts?
Oh, God. More?
More coordination.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I got the dropsies, for a
dropsies,
while,
right?
too.
Right?
Yeah.
Or knocking into walls or just like, what?
I'm like, am I just getting bigger? I keep my hip kept hitting the counter as I'm like, what?
Why do I have 5 more bruises?
Yeah, what am I doing? So, and also things like balance and reaction time, like if I would drop something, I'll just catch it really quick. And it's like, oh, no.
That one's going.
Oh, no, can't do that anymore. So switch to plastic, everything. No, we didn't. Sippy cups now. But estrogen also affects the fat. This is hard for me anyway. Fast twitch muscle fibers. So these are the ones that help with power and stability. And the fibers don't fire as quickly. So women may feel a little less steady or more cautious on stairs and uneven ground. I totally went through that. Like, watch my step going downstairs, and we'll talk about hope later because this sounds awful.
I know,
but
right?
No, there's hope. There's hope.
Because there's also the tendon connection.
Okay.
So guess what? Tendons get stiffer with lower estrogen and less collagen. So muscles have to work harder to move the same way. And that's why your warm-ups feel longer and why tightness becomes a more common complaint.
Yeah. No, I hated stretching even in high school.
Right. It's getting even harder.
Just pretend like I was stretching. Right. It's not. I could, touching toes. Okay. I can do that if I try really hard. But let's move on to the bones too. So because this is another big area that changes with menopause, the bones are constantly breaking down and rebuilding constantly. So estrogen keeps the process balanced, but when the estrogen drops, the breakdown side speeds up and the rebuild side slows down. So that's where osteopenia and osteoporosis that you've heard about come from.
Yeah, and it's not just bone density. It's actually bone quality too.
Right.
Yeah, bones become a little more porous and less able to handle impact. So that's why fractures, especially in the wrist, spine, and hip, become more common after menopause.
Yeah. And speaking of wrists, so joints are affected too. So like you were saying before about your joints.
Oh, yeah.
So even if someone doesn't have arthritis, cartilage is more hydrated and cushioned when estrogen is high. So after menopause, cartilage loses some of that water content. So joints feel stiffer, creaky. Women often say, my joints just feel different. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, well, my joints just feel like crap. That's what I...
You're not alone.
Hey, guess what? Their spine changes too.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Vertebrae lose density faster and the supportive tissues around the spine weaken, and that can lead to back pain or even mild height loss over time.
Oh.
Like my mom's shrinking.
Oh, it's like, yeah, if we had a little grandma, the kids have a little grandma too. It's like, no, you're already 4'11", you can't shrink anymore. No, it's hard to watch, but there is prevention. So bones actually remodel more slowly. So with the drop of estrogen as well. So small stresses like walking more or than usual, or starting a new sport. I'm going to say like pickleball,
right? How many people are coming in for injuries with that?
Right. But your recovery time, and if you do injure something, it does take longer to heal. So it's not a sign something is wrong. It's simply a shift in how the tissues operate without estrogen.
Wow. Okay. So let me get this right. We have changes in immunity, energy, tissues, muscles, and bones all feeding into each other, right?
Right.
And they stack up on one another. So you have more inflammatory signals, less efficient energy production, slower tissue repair, stiffer connective tissues, and muscle and bone changes. And all of this leads to that pain, stiffness, and fatigue, even when medical imaging looks normal.
Yeah, but
right?
Guess what?
What? Please tell me there's something good.
Yeah, women can absolutely feel better, move better, and stay strong, not despite menopause, but through understanding it. Menopause isn't decline. It's a biological transition that all of us women can influence with the right tools.
Okay, the good news is the musculoskeletal system is incredibly adaptable. Muscles respond to resistance training, bones remodel with weight-bearing exercises, even mitochondria improve with certain types of training and nutrition.
But before we talk about what we can do moving forward, I want to take a step back for a moment. Dr. Vonda Wright is very clear about this, that bone health isn't only a menopause issue, it's a lifelong story. And understanding the story matters, especially because a hip fracture later in life isn't just painful, it can be life-threatening, with nearly 30% one-year mortality rate in older women. And just to explain that statistic a little more, when an older woman breaks her hip, the fracture isn't usually what's life-threatening. It's the complications that can follow. So things like infection, blood clots, or losing mobility. Those complications are why studies show that up to 30% of older women who experience a hip fracture don't make it to the next year. So let's take a quick look through how our bones change across a woman's lifespan. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning. During our teens and 20s, our bones are basically in building mode. So this is when we're creating our peak bone mass, which is the strongest our skeleton's ever going to be. And activities like running, jumping, lifting, dancing, anything with impact are building the bone bank we're going to rely on later. And Dr. Wright says bones are built by impact, not intention, meaning you have to stress them to strengthen them.
Yeah, for sure. And then we hit our 30s and 40s, and bones aren't growing anymore. but they're not noticeably declining either. So this is the quiet decade. You don't feel the bone loss yet, but the habits you build now matter more than ever. So the strength training, nutrition, getting enough protein, calcium, vitamin D, and all these help maintain the bone you already have. This is also the decade to get a baseline DEXA scan, and we'll talk more about that.
More on that later.
Yeah, a little bit later, but especially if you've been through pregnancy, breastfeeding, or periods of low nutrition in your life, because all of those affect bone reserves.
And then guess what? Menopause arrives. Dun, 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 dun. And this is where the biggest changes happen. So like we talked about, that estrogen drops sharply. We mentioned that?
Yeah, do we mention? Yeah, you feel free to make a drinking game every time we say estrogen drops.
And estrogen is one of the main hormones that protects bone, like we talked about. So without it, the bone breakdown speeds up and the bone building slows down. And in the first 10 years after menopause, women can lose up to 20% of their bone density.
Woo!
I know. So this is why we see a rise in the osteopenia, osteoporosis, and fractures during this stage.
Yeah, and even though that can sound a little scary, the message isn't that bone decline is inevitable. Dr. Wright is very clear about that it's never too late to strengthen the bone, because bone responds to strength training and impact, like Beth mentioned earlier, good nutrition, hormone therapy when appropriate, and it continues to respond well into our 60s, 70s, and beyond.
Part 2, the provider perspective.
Have you ever walked out of a provider's appointment, Beth, thinking, well, that didn't get me anywhere?
Yeah, I have.
You are not alone. I'm sure listeners out there can relate. So in this next part coming up, we want to give you all the knowledge that prepares you to have a real informed back and forth with your provider. And these are what we're going to tell you are evidence-based strategies that support muscle repair, strengthen and remodel bone, and help reduce inflammation.
Inflammation. Have we mentioned inflammation?
Have we mentioned that enough yet?
All right, first, let's talk about menopausal hormone therapy, or MHT. That is my personal favorite.
Yes. Lucky you.
Yeah. So this is the medical approach of replacing the estrogen your body is no longer making and adding progesterone when it's needed for uterine protection. Restoring estrogen can help lower inflammation, preserve bone density, maintain muscle mass, and improve overall tissue health.
Yeah, and research shows that MHT is most effective when it's started during perimenopause or early in the menopause transition, ideally within the first 10 years after your final period. And unfortunately, I missed the boat.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. But and for those of you following that, the FDA is finally taking off the black box warning for
Yay.
MHT. And so
It's huge.
It's huge. So the key is to working with a provider who knows all about this and who really understands hormone therapy, someone who can evaluate your symptoms, review your specific health history, and manage your dosing safely and effectively. And unfortunately, I missed that boat because the way they were doing hormone therapy was different. And after 2 years, it was like, just take the least amount possible for,
It's no longer. Yeah. Now things have changed, thank goodness.
Yeah. So now we know more about that it's very preventative for a lot of things. So,
and we also know it's really challenging to find a provider with the level of expertise to really prescribe hormones well. So,
yeah.
A great starting point, if you're looking for somebody, is the Menopause Society's website. And we've included the link along with some other references in our show notes.
Yeah, that's a great website. And in fact, I always forget to look in show notes. But when I do listen to podcasts, there's so much information in there. So that's a great thing to tell our audience. So that was number one. Now, number two is resistance training. And it's truly one of those most powerful tools that we have, I'd say. So for women who may have missed the ideal window like me of starting their systemic MHT, resistance training becomes an especially valuable option. So strength training sends direct signals to bones, muscles, and connective tissues to stay strong. So what works best is lifting heavier weights and having good form and doing fewer repetitions. This is what I learned in Dr. Vonda Wright's book, which I love. So it's been amazing for me. That's what truly stimulates bone-building cells and maintains muscle mass.
So if estrogen used to be your body's built-in protector, strength training becomes the new one. It replaces that biological signal by telling your system, stay strong, stay dense, stay capable.
I know.
I like that.
Don't stay dense, though. No, I'm just kidding.
And what's great is women can start this at any age and still make progress.
Yeah, and if you want more guidance or a step-by-step approach to strength training, we highly recommend the book Unbreakable, A Woman's Guide to Aging with Power. I love that title, again, by Dr. Vonda Wright.
Have we mentioned her?
Have we mentioned her enough? She's awesome. And it offers a detailed, practical program designed specifically for women. Very detailed. It's wonderful.
Okay, now let's talk about nutrition. Number 3, because what you eat has a direct impact on muscle repair, bone remodeling, and inflammation. There are a few key nutrients that really matter for women in midlife, and getting these right can make a huge difference.
Yep. And first step is protein. Most women aren't eating nearly enough of it. The goal is about 1.4 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, which is higher than many of us are used to. But it's exactly what your muscles and bones need. And so just to put that in perspective, let's say you weigh 165 or so.
Or more.
Or more. That's about 75 kilograms. And at 1.5 grams per kilogram, you're aiming at roughly 110 to 115 grams of protein per day.
Yeah, and that sounds like a huge amount, but it's actually doable when you spread it out. You know, if you'd had like 2 eggs, it's like 12 grams, 3 ounces of chicken is 26 grams.
That's a lot.
Right? 1 cup of Greek yogurt, about 15 to 20. And there's so many other great protein sources, you know, like eggs. Well, we already talked about eggs, sorry.
Yeah, avocado.
That's just
A little bit there.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's protein powders, which can really help you hit your daily goal. But we're not going to list every protein.
Yeah. That's all over the internet.
Protein source. Exactly.
Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, read
High
those
protein
books.
diets, yeah.
Yeah, the books that we told you about. Everything's in there. It's great. Absolutely. And yeah, I am myself going to have to add some protein powders.
I've already started to.
Yeah, my daily smoothie.
I do not like the taste of it.
You That's why you got to add it.
Choking it down.
Something else. Yeah. But now let's talk about calcium and vitamin D, because both are essential for maintaining and rebuilding bone. And here's something really important. It's generally better to get your calcium from food rather than supplements. Dietary calcium is absorbed more gradually and naturally comes paired with minerals your body needs to use it properly. So that slow, steady absorption helps protect your kidneys and avoids the sudden spikes in blood calcium you can get from supplements. So it's those spikes that are why calcium supplements have been linked to kidney stones and, in some studies, possible cardiovascular concerns.
Yeah, so try to build your calcium from foods like dairy, obviously, leafy greens. Once again, I'm not going to list all the calcium foods because you know what? Google it.
We don't want to bore you with all of that.
But supplements still have a place, especially if someone can't meet their needs through diet. But food should always be your first choice.
Vitamin D helps your body absorb that calcium and supports bone remodeling. So most of us need a supplement, especially if you live in low lighting areas or spend most of your time indoors.
Yeah, so I take a vitamin D supplement. I do.
Yeah.
I think I bought you some recently, didn't I, Sandi?
I was going to say, I was going to try to get it from sun, and then it's like, you know,
it's really hard. It really is.
It's hard.
As much as I'm in the sun, my vitamin D level was actually kind of low normal, so I've been supplementing.
Mine, I think, my vitamin D level has been in the normal range, but I really don't get that much sun because, I just get the little pre-cancers that I'm kind of afraid of a little bit. So,
So
Yeah. So
take your supplement.
yeah, I mean, I know we used to recommend like 2,000 a day, something, but I like that you can vary it. Like, so yes, Beth did do a buy one get one free and gave me a bottle of 5,000 units.
5,000 IUs, yeah.
So international units I used. So yeah, I'm taking it Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
There you go. There you go.
Along with my vaginal estrogen.
Right.
So like every day, there's something good for my body. Yes.
And speaking of supplements, let's talk about magnesium, Sandy's favorite. This one does not get nearly enough attention.
Yeah, magnesium is crucial for bone health and muscle relaxation, energy production, and even sleep. So around 60% of your body's magnesium is stored in your bones. Like, who knew that?
Right.
And research shows many women don't get enough of it. So here's what magnesium helps with. I just can't. As I'm going to, I'm so excited. I love it. I love it. So like I said, supports bone density and strength, helps muscles contract and relax properly, reduces muscle cramps and twitching.
Yeah.
I have had, lower leg muscle cramps off and on my whole life, and it's torture. And my neurologist that I was seeing for headaches, and also great for headaches, my husband's doctor also told him, get on the nightly magnesium and it'll help prevent your headaches. And it totally did.
And it helped your cramps?
Yes, doctor. So my neurologist said, I was already on 400 and he's like, double it. And my cramps went away.
Oh, that's great.
So just, talk to your doctor first and see what's right for you. But magnesium also plays a role in energy production. Remember, we talked about the mitochondria.
Yeah.
That's right where it works. And helps regulate inflammation and supports nervous system health and better sleep.
What doesn't it do? My God.
Love it.
So let me list some good dietary sources.
Yeah.
Nuts and seeds, leafy greens. Yeah, Google it. But we both take supplements. What do you take? The glycinate, right? That's the one?
That has been recommended by both our doctors at home, and definitely the magnesium glycinate.
Yeah, but like Sandy said, remember, discuss with your provider,
Yes,
for
please.
recommendation.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. And now let's talk about creatine, because this is one of my new favorites.
I got my new love, too.
Right? We love it. This is a supplement a lot of women have heard of, but many don't realize how powerful it can be during and after menopause.
Yeah, and creatine is one of the best studied supplements in the world, and it's especially helpful in women in midlife. So what creatine really does is support your muscles' ability to produce quick, efficient energy. And that means more strength, better muscle performance, and less fatigue, especially during resistance training.
Yeah, so more specific benefits is improved strength and muscle mass, especially when combined with the weight training.
Yes.
Right? Better power and stability, which supports balance and reduces fall risk. Great.
Hello.
Yeah. Enhanced muscle recovery, so soreness doesn't linger long. And honestly, this is probably the best benefit I've felt from it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because I used to work out and then it'd be like, oh, no.
You'd be down for like a day or two.
Or 3.
Yeah.
Especially during my fibromyalgia days, right? It'd be like, oh, no. So now it doesn't even, like, don't have to worry about what I have planned on a day that I did heavy weights. Like, all of this is falling into place. Heavier weights, and lower reps. And I feel fine after taking the creatine.
You can do it again the next day. I know.
Unbelievable.
It is. And I guess what? It also has cognitive benefits. It supports brain energy.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right? And improved performance during resistance training, which helps stimulate bone and muscle. So it's one of the rare supplements where the research is really strong, consistent, and very supportive for women in midlife.
Yeah, and dosing just came up in a conversation with one of my old classmates. And he mentioned cycling the creatine. So I guess if you're on really high doses, they will like take it for 3 months and then go off of it to make sure it's safe. And it's like, well, it's actually very simple for us.
Is it? Good.
Yeah, because the standard dose for us women is 3 to 5 grams per day. and it's called creatine monohydrate. So that's the most studied and most effective form. So there's no need for loading phases or cycling. Just take a small, consistent daily dose.
Yeah, and that's what I do. And it doesn't taste like anything. You put it in your water, and it's great.
Yeah, mine is flavored. I have a raspberry flavor.
I'm sorry.
I put it in my daily smoothie, and it's yummy.
So, yeah, Sandi and I are loving that one. All right, let's shift into anti-inflammatory foods, because what we eat can either cool inflammation or fuel it. And menopause is already a time when, guess what? Inflammation is already high. Have we mentioned that?
Yeah, we mentioned that, yeah. Exactly. So this is where Dr. Vonda Wright uses the term inflammaging. I said it before, and I'll say it again. And I love that term because it's exactly what's happening in our body. So she describes it beautifully as this slow, steady background inflammation that builds as we age, and especially after estrogen drops. Drink. Remember, it's not the kind of inflammation you get like with an injury or infection. It's more like a slow simmer that affects your joints, muscles, and even your energy levels. So our food choices can really influence that simmer.
Yeah, so anti-inflammatory foods are essentially foods that calm the immune system, support joint health, and help muscles recover. They also support better gut health, which is a major driver of inflammation during menopause, And some of the main categories: fruits and veggies, healthy fats, nuts, seeds, and legumes, whole grains. Guess what? Google it.
Google it.
Google the anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah, that's easy to find for sure. So it's not just knowing what to eat, though, but what we need to limit also. So I won't say bad foods, but the stuff that you
can say bad food.
Yeah,
I think you can.
Try limiting these. ... So ultra processed foods. So most things in a box or
ultra processed meat.
Yeah, all that. So added sugars. I mean, sugar. That's my heroin. I really, if I stay away from it for long, I went off of it when I got my diagnosis for the fibromyalgia, and I went on a special diet. So no sugar for a year.
Wow, that's impressive.
Not even like ketchup or any condiments with sugar in it. I know, but you know what? 2 months after I was on that no sugar diet and much healthier diet, I was 80% better.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm telling you these things. So the rest of the list is fried foods and processed meats, like Beth said. But they do trigger immune pathways that make the inflammation louder. So using food intentionally is one of the most important things we can do to reduce inflammaging and protect every aspect of our health during menopause and all the years that follow.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's ask our listeners, do any of you feel confident discussing DEXA scan results?
Not even all providers know how to interpret results. Yeah, but a DEXA scan, and it's spelled DEXA, stands for dual energy X-ray absorbed. I knew I was going to flub this up.
I know.
Absorptiometry.
Yeah, I know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, nailed it. Okay. It's the gold standard test for measuring your bone density. So the scan itself is quick, painless, and uses very low radiation. You're in and out in about 10 to 15 minutes. And best of all, you don't even need to get undressed.
That is best of all. And the reason it matters is because bone loss is silent. So many women don't realize their bone density is low until they fracture something.
Right.
A DEXA scan lets us see what's happening before a break occurs. It tells you how strong your bones are right now, whether you're losing bone faster than expected, and how high your fracture risk is.
Yeah, and this is why experts, including Dr. Wright, want women to get screened earlier. Actually, so not later. It's said that every woman should have a DEXA scan by age 65 when insurance will pay for it. But that's not my idea of preventative medicine.
Yeah.
No. Most women need one sooner, especially if they have risk factors like early menopause, smoking, long-term steroid use, low body weight, autoimmune conditions, or a family history of osteoporosis or a personal history of fractures.
So, okay, so you get the scan and now you're staring at these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sense of them?
Yeah.
So there are two key numbers to look at. There's a T-score and the Z-score. So the T-score compares your bone density to that of a healthy 30-year-old woman, which is when bone mass is at its peak. So here's how it breaks down.
Break it down, Beth.
Break it down. So negative 1.0 or above is normal bone density. Between negative 1.0 and negative 2.5 is osteopenia, means early bone loss. And then negative 2.5 or below is actually osteoporosis, which significantly raises fracture risk.
Yes, it does. So quickly, the Z-score compares your bone density to women your same age. It's especially helpful for women who are younger than typical osteoporosis age. And that's because a Z-score below negative 2.0 means your bone density is lower than expected for your age, and your provider may look for underlying causes.
Okay, so why this matters. Once you get a baseline, you can compare future scans to see how things are changing over time. Most women repeat the DEXA scan every 2 years, and this helps to see whether your bones are stable, improving, or declining, and guides your treatment plan.
So the DEXA scan isn't just another test. It's information that gives you control. It's one of the most empowering tools a woman can have. It shows you your bone strength, your fracture risk, and what steps you can take to stay strong, mobile, and independent as you age. It's proactive, not reactive. Knowing your numbers is part of protecting your future mobility.
Part 3, the partner perspective. All right, let's not forget the people standing beside us as we move through this phase of life.
Yeah.
Yes, our partners, our family, our friends, the ones who are witnessing the changes right alongside us.
Exactly, Beth. And this is where Dr. Vonda Wright introduces a term Beth and I really love, and it's on page 36 of Unbreakable. She calls the period menopause. Just like adolescence is marked by rapid hormone shifts, brain rewiring, and major physiological changes, menopause is another significant transition, one where our musculoskeletal system, what we've been talking about all along here, faces new demands and vulnerabilities. And what's important is how Dr. Wright frames it. She doesn't describe this stage as a decline. It's a biological opportunity is what it is. So a phase where women can intentionally reshape their health, strength, and lifestyle. And that's what we've been trying to do ourselves.
We've done a lot of
We did
a lot of changes.
lot of changes that we didn't even know existed. I didn't even realize heavier weights. What? That whole it's magic and so many other things. But so it's not a deterioration, it's transformation. Menopause becomes a chance to build the foundation for the next several decades of vitality, not decline.
God, we love vitality. Bring it.
Yeah.
And this is why the people around us matter so much, right? Sandi and I have each other.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Support during menopause really changes the experience. It does. Helping with physical tasks, coming to appointments, being curious, and understanding, all of that makes a huge difference.
It does. I know I mentioned earlier about my husband having to fasten my bra and unfasten it during
that.
The frozen shoulder. Thank you, honey. But I gotta tell this story, and I call it red flag, green flag, because my husband, who was retired at the time, I was going through all these changes, working full time. He was already retired, but he didn't know who he was getting.
At the end of the day, right?
When I walked through the door. So he said, can we do this? Can we implement a new policy? So, because when you come in, can you just tell me red flag or green flag? And green flag means, hey, maybe you had a great day. You're not experiencing any lows and
any inner rage.
Yeah,
you like to call it.
Yes, the inner rage. Whoops. Yeah, that's boy. Yeah. It's like you were there.
Yeah.
Fly on the wall. But so he said, okay, tell me green flag and I'll get to ask you about your day, tell you about mine. I'm like, okay. He goes, but if you're not feeling good, you don't want to talk, and you say red flag, I'll just pour you some wine, and then we'll have a
Let you have your me time.
Yeah, just relax. You can do whatever you want, and I understand. So
Wow, that's wonderful. That really is.
right?
He needs to like
He's a
go
bottle.
on. Yeah, he needs to go on tour and like talk to other people,
Pat
other partners.
red flag, green flag. But it worked beautifully for us for a long time, and I was so grateful.
Ah,
Really
that's
grateful.
I love that story. I really do, because that's the heart of it. You know, when people close to us understand what's happening physically and emotionally, they become part of that support system that helps us stay strong, confident, and connected.
Absolutely.
So, quick summary, listeners. The Musculoskeletal Syndrome of Menopause, or MSM, or what we experienced it as Menopausal Structural Mayhem. It's not just about the random aches and pains. It's the musculoskeletal expression of menopause, and it finally gives language to what so many of us have felt and haven't been able to explain.
That's right. And remember, when estrogen drops, we see changes in muscle, bones, joints, energy, and inflammation, what Dr. Vonda Wright calls inflammaging. Still love that term. But understanding these shifts doesn't mean accepting decline, right? It means recognizing what's happening in your body and knowing you can influence it.
And the same goes for menopause, another favorite term of ours. Yes.
Love it.
So that's another major physiological shift where we can take it as an opportunity to rebuild strength, protect mobility, and set ourselves up for decades of vitality.
That's right. And that's the takeaway we want you to hold on to. Your musculoskeletal system is adaptable. Your bones, muscles, and energy systems respond at every age. Tools like strength training, nutrition, MHT, and early screening can truly change your trajectory.
Yes, you are not fragile. You are adaptable.
Yes.
Your body is not shutting down. It's recalibrating.
Love that.
Right? And when you understand what's happening inside your cells, you can take the action that makes you stronger, not weaker.
And remember, menopause and menopause don't happen in isolation. They happen in community. The more we talk about these changes, the more women feel informed, validated, and supported.
And that's our goal with this conversation. It's to replace confusion with clarity, fear with confidence, and to show that this transition is not an ending.
It's a beginning, a chance to build strength, protect your mobility, and write the next chapter of your health with intention. I'm Sandi.
And I'm Beth. And if you have a vagina or know someone who does, then please like, share, and comment with your thoughts or topic suggestions.
You can find us on all podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. Yeah, take one.
Take 3, actually. Okay.
Part 2, the provider perspective.
Have you ever walked out of a provider's appointment thinking, well, that didn't go...
Part 4. No, part 4. Take 4. Take 4.
That didn't go very well.